Hi, welcome back to my masterclass. I'm Simon, and in this masterclass so far, this is the final one in the series. So far we've talked about longer videos, regular videos, and batched production, which seems, and it is, quite a bit of work. But the good news is YouTube doesn't have to be a solo venture. So how might you want to work with others to get the help that you need? So those who have watched my YouTube channels know that it is not just me. There are people behind the scenes as well, helping me get out videos every day. Even if I optimized everything with a daily video schedule, I really could never do it all myself. I'm sure there are people out there who do daily videos every day, but when it's kind of educational stuff, there's a lot of research time that goes into each and every one. So for me, it would just be impossible unless there were like 10 of me. So when I first started on YouTube, I found a partner to run the channel with. I mean, this is something that happens all the time in the business world. People will go out and be like, hey, you want to start a business together? And they go off and do it. And I basically said, hey, you want to start a YouTube together? And we went off and did that. And so from my perspective, starting a channel with a friend or someone you know or an acquaintance, it's got a whole bunch of advantages, and I want to take you through a few of them because I really think if you're thinking of doing an ambitious channel, you don't have a lot of money to get started, having a partner can be a really great way to go. So first of all, there's splitting the workload, and kind of the most basic way that can happen is you have two hosts on a channel. That doesn't mean you're hosting a video together, but it could mean that maybe one of you hosts a video on a Monday and one of you hosts a video on a Thursday. That way, I talked about regularity previously. That way you're getting those two videos out a week on one channel, which we know is important, but you're kind of only doing the work of one person. So that's a great way that you can work with a partner. Or maybe you're interested in presenting like me and you're not an expert in research or editing or working with video, all of that stuff. Maybe you can find someone who is an expert in that. Or maybe you're an expert producer and you want to find someone who can present your videos for you. Now, of course, the main disadvantage of all of this is financial. If you have a partner, you are splitting the benefits with them. So that advertising revenue that comes in, it's, half or whatever you agree to, goes to that other person. But personally, for me, having a partner on my channels has been absolutely the best decision I've made as a YouTuber and has been worth giving up half for. And another clear advantage has to be cost. If you want to work with someone who's got great skills, normally it's really expensive to go and hire someone who's really good at something. If you want to present videos, hiring a super skilled video producer is really expensive, and there's not a lot of YouTube channels without money backing them that can afford to go out and pay someone this, especially from the beginning. But if you find a business partner who's willing to take the risk with you, then they might have those skills that you can bring on board to your team. And another advantage is kind of a softer one, but it's accountability. I've talked a lot in this series about the value of having regular videos and longer videos and all of this stuff. But sometimes if it's just you, it can be really hard. You can be like, yeah, I was going to put out the video on Thursday, but I didn't. But if you've got someone else on board who's like your partner, then they can be like, hey man, aren't we doing that video this Thursday? We should be getting on that. And it just adds that accountability so that it's less easy to skip out. So now you might wonder, where would you want to look to find a partner? Personally, I'd recommend that you look to friends and people you know first. And if it's a passion of yours, the chances are you know other people who have that passion as well. And another option is to just reach out to people who you might want to work with. This is exactly what I did today. I found out I had a website long before it had a YouTube channel, and I basically just sent them a contact email form being like, hey, you guys ever thought of getting some of your stuff onto YouTube? And well, here we are a few years later. Now, on the other hand, is the idea of paying people to help you out. I mentioned earlier that hiring like a really high-skilled video producer person can be really expensive, but you don't have to start there. When I was first starting, one of the first people I hired was a virtual assistant halfway around the world, and they do a lot of things that I described in previous episodes. They format my descriptions, they help me with tags, they do all of this stuff, and it can be really super affordable, and it's an easy place to start. You could look at websites like Upwork or Freelancer or guru.com. These are all places where you could potentially find a virtual assistant at a super reasonable rate who can help you out with some of the more mundane stuff of running a YouTube channel. And then as that went on, the next person I got was someone to edit the videos. So when I'm reading a script or going through a video, I make a ton of mistakes, and you see the little jump cuts. Someone else, at first I spent hours and hours doing this, and then I was like, I should really get someone else to do that. And as the channel grew to a point where that was affordable, I was like, okay, so I found someone to just kind of chop up the video. And as my channel grew, I brought more people on just like this to kind of help me get more content out. And now today, as that process has evolved, we've even got someone who's working with advertisers to bring us more money into the channel through sponsorships, and that helps pay for all of this stuff. And I know at this point, you might be thinking that this is something that only big channels can afford, and maybe you're not quite there yet, but I do think it's a good thing to keep in mind as you grow, and as you do start growing, that pressure will increase to get more stuff done. And just a reminder that when that happens, this can, finding people to work with can be a really great way to take some of that pressure off. So this was actually my final lesson in this masterclass series, and I really hope that you enjoyed spending some time with me learning a bit about being a YouTube creator, basically the stuff I've learned over the last few years. I'm glad I got a chance to share it with you all, and this stuff made a big difference to me, so I hope it makes a big difference to you as well. I'd also, of course, like to thank the YouTube Creators channel for letting me come on here and share some of this stuff. So subscribe to them for more great masterclasses from other creators. There were some in the past which I watched before doing this. They're fantastic, and more to come. And hey, if you want to see more of me, please find a link to my stuff below. And as always, thanks for watching.